do a special Robot Adventures Vlog. Goodbye. Turquoise. Children. Dumbasses. Stupid people. Shit for brains. Politicians. This video is not for you. This video is for people who like my videos. And look, I fixed the green thing. There was something with the white balance. So I reset the camera specs and then I changed it. So today, I want to talk about something that I've been talking about for years. And I made my Chun-Li thing and I threw in that little hint. And tactile dot kind of guessed. But, so I want to get into 3D printing. And if you guys know about that, then that's good. For those of you who don't know about it, it is a huge, big, I guess, big subject. And my throat is a little bit, so, yeah. I think drinking a chili robot will help with my throat, maybe. But, goodbye. Turquoise. So I'm looking at, I've been researching it a lot more recently, and I think probably next week I'll go ahead and choose the one I want to get. And I just wanted to make this video before I bought anything, just to maybe have a chance of anyone throwing in their 2 cents and anecdotal evidence on what they think is the best one or better or something like that. A couple of the things that I've kind of, I've looked at a whole bunch of stuff, and recently I've been more interested in 3D printing than I was, because the prices are going down and the quality of the material is improving. And so I'm at a point now where I feel that, okay, this is not so expensive, and it's something that I can do, and something that I can mess around with, and yeah, so I want to do that. So the first thing, I guess, that I had to look at was what type of 3D printer do I want to get? And and just choosing that is a big thing, because there are so many different types of 3D printers. Maybe you're not familiar with them, but yeah, there's a bunch of different types. There's the FDM. That's, I guess, the most popular type, where you melt the plastic and you shoot it out of a little nozzle, and you just build up layers and layers and layers. There's that type. And then there are other types where you have like a tub, and you have a laser that's I guess hardening the plastic to make the object, and then it kind of gets pulled out of the tub. And then you have another type where you have a bunch of powder and or some kind of material that gets like melted together with a laser, and like it's kind of the same way with the liquid tub, but it's just the powder stuff. It's kind of like welded or melted or something. So Those are the three, I guess, main types. And yeah, the if you look at those, they're some of them are pretty pricey. Um, Even the type that just shoot out plastic out of the like one of those 3D printing pins. Those can get pretty pricey too. I think the top end, like of the prosumer brand, is around $4,000 US. A little bit pricey. I was thinking, if that's what I have to buy, I guess that's what I'm going to have to buy. And then I was thinking this year I'll just go ahead and do it. That was one of my resolutions for this year. And I was like, well, it's already November now. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. And so yeah, recently I've seen a lot of new models and built out of extruded aluminum. The older RepRap printers, 3D printers, the RepRap is the kind that reproduce themselves. You can like use the 3D printer to print out a part that you can use on the 3D printer. A lot of those had like a lot of just screws and like yeah, a lot of parts that look like they just came out of your hardware store, and they just kind of bolted it together, and it worked, and it was good, but I just didn't like the look of that. Um, I wanted something really solid, so um, I wanted to get something with an extruded aluminum frame, um, rather than just a bunch of like cylindrical rods that kind of bolted together and stuff. So a big, I guess, a type is the Prusa type. It was made by a guy named, I think, Joseph Prusa. Um, and there are many types that look kind of like that. It's got the bed on like around here. Maybe I'll put up image of the thing, and it just slides back and forth like this. And you got your Z-axis, which moves up and down, and the print head moves left to right and up and down. So you got all three Cartesian coordinates going, and yeah, you have that type. You have another type which is like it's a different. I mean, you still use a Cartesian coordinates x, y, and z, but the instead of the head moving up and down and left to right, the bed goes down, and the head just moves forward and back, and left and right, like this, so forward and back. So the bed is moving, not the actual print head. It's not doing this. It's kind of the bed is lowering, and I'll put a picture of that over here somewhere. And you got some variations on that where you got like a support rod and like a thing that hangs out to the side. I'll put a picture of that. And then after you figure out which type you want, you have to consider things like bed leveling. I mean, is the bed going to be like this, or if it's a little bit angled, how's that going to affect the print? The type of power supply you want to use, how much wiring you want to do. Yeah, the type of extruder, the type of the filament, the thickness, and the voltages of the power, and then there's so many things that you have to kind of look into. It's like, what's the difference between 12 volts and 24 volts? What's the difference between this motherboard or this control board and this control board and the motor controllers and all this other stuff? There's so many different variables and things that you can tweak and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff to research when you're thinking about getting into 3D printing. And that was kind of daunting. It was, yeah, it was a lot to get into. Came back. So, yeah, I had to research a lot of that, and that's why I'm making this video for you guys to throw in your 2 cents. Why I think this is better than this, and I think this is better than this. I've also looked at a lot of videos of people doing 3D printing stuff, and there are a couple of YouTubers out there with I guess their 3D printing channel. I think there's I'm gonna say about maybe five main YouTube 3D printing people. There's a guy named Tom something something. He's I think from Denmark or Germany or somewhere, and he does a lot of videos on guides and stuff, and he's very informative. But some of the stuff that he says is like way over the top for a beginner. So I'll watch the video like 5 times and then go like, oh, what is that? And then I'll have to Google that stuff. And then I'll just like, oh, okay, that's a thing that goes onto this thing and it's different from this other thing that he didn't mention. It's like, so you have to have a lot of, knowledge, or just be patient. And I think that's one of the keys, be patient, and, just keep looking it up. So, and then there's a couple of other guys that are just going like, hey, check out this. This is the thing I made. Those kind of channels. So it's like, I mean, that's a good way to burn some time, I guess, if you're really bored or something. But some of that stuff isn't really informative. Like me talking about a robot. Hey, check out this thing. So yeah, I mean, those channels have their places, and yeah, and that's good. But yeah, to get this, trying to find the information that I wanted was sometimes hit and miss. I would go to like, oh, they're going to talk about the thing, but yeah, they didn't really talk about the detailed part that I wanted, like something. And then you'll get to the guy who actually does talk about that thing, like, oh, this is the pin that you need to put the motor controller on this way, not this way, and make sure that this is connected to here. And you get to those videos, and it would be almost also over the top, and it's like, okay, that isn't really helping me because you're using a whole bunch of stuff that I don't really know what you're talking about. And then you have to again be patient and look at that stuff, and what does this mean? What does this mean? Don't skip any steps, because then I'll be like, what the hell did you just do? And those guys are, maybe engineers aren't the best kind of entertainers. Maybe, I'm guessing. Am I wrong? Your thumb like that. So yeah, that's something that I've been looking into, and it's interesting. I'm learning a lot, and I really want to get into it. And I think it's really good for people who like my videos and people who are in our circle, our group, our people who actually build models, who know how to build stuff. So I see a lot of the I don't know if it's a thing or something, but I think some people are like, yeah, I'm gonna get this 3D printer and just print out a whole bunch of stuff. But then the quality of the prints isn't what they wanted, because they're they're layered and stuff. They got ridges, and something that looks like this. This was given to me by Alan Mokano Man, the Gundam guy, and so this is a 3D printed part, and I don't know if you can actually see it on there. Maybe I can zoom in, but oh yeah, you can see that it's got ridges, and it's pretty smooth, pretty nice. and but it still's got a little bit of it's not perfectly smooth and flat. To some people, oh, fuck, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with it too. Um, Here's the Decepticon, and here we got the Autobot one that he gave me. Thank you, Alan. Here's a Autobot, and you can see this printed on a raft, and this is so that it adheres to the bed and stuff. Here's the inside. When you can rip this raft thing off, and you have the figure just like that. But yeah, this is a piece there, and you see it's not completely filled in. It's got a web thing there that saves space. You don't have to 100% fill it. You can see how the filament is extruded and stuff. So for people like us who do figures and stuff like that, looking at something like this with all these little wavy things, I don't think that's really something troublesome for us. So we look at, oh, okay, you just put some putty on that, or some kind of filler, or you can take maybe a Mr. Surfacer like that for gaps, or some kind of putty, or we got a whole bunch of stuff that we can use with our model making, because we make this stuff, right? We kit bash and all that other stuff. So looking at something like that, it's like, I can fix that. You just throw some shit on that. So that's kind of good for us. And yeah, I kind of feel maybe proud of the Transformers and Gundam community, just because from what I've seen from a lot of the YouTubers, like finishing something like this, like putting in like maybe some kind of coats of paint on that and sanding and stuff like that, it almost seems kind of like, what, you can do that? To some of the people who are doing 3D printing, they've never made a model, but they're like, oh, I want to get a 3D printer, but I've never made a plastic model. It's like, what? Okay, I don't know if maybe that's just the way people are or something, or they're just like, oh, it's great, but I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe that's the people. I don't know. And doing CAD stuff is not a big deal for me. One of my degrees is in computer-aided design, so yeah, I like CAD. I like doing stuff in CAD and making, like that logo that you saw at the beginning. I think that was done in Blender. It was really easy. Kind of just whipped it out in a couple minutes, but it's fun. It's not too difficult, and so yeah, I want to do that, and I've got some ideas that I want to make, some figures or some things that I want to do, and I want to share that, make videos on the projects, and show you guys how easy it is to do this stuff I'm thinking, or how difficult it is. And so it's not some kind of mysterious thing where it's like, oh, wow, how the fuck did you do that? Or what were you doing there? Or some shit like that. So, yeah, I know that the way like these things are made, like injection molding and like a lot of the Transformers are made, they actually have molds, and well, this isn't a Transformer, but they've got molds, and yeah, so those things are going to be, perfect, and it's a completely different manufacturing process the way those things are made. But I think we can do something, and I haven't seen a YouTube channel where they're actually making Transformers, and like, oh, this is a Transformer I made off of my 3D printer. I've seen a couple of things with like figures, a bunch of figurines or something like that. It's a little thing. It's a something, but I haven't seen them actually go into depth and like, oh, let's design a Transformer. Because shit, I've got a shitload of Transformers, and I've got a bunch of other stuff, and with the idea in mind that I don't like the way the pricing is on a lot of our plastic crack. I think we can do better, and so they're selling 1 kilogram of plastic filament for about maybe $20 to $30. $20 to $30 for 2.2 pounds of plastic. I don't know how much your transformer weighs, but 2 pounds of transformer, I think that for $20, I think that's a good price. So I don't want to pay, $70 or something like that, or $100, or like the masterpieces. And of course, those things are made differently, and they're not printed out. But yeah, I don't think we're dealing with like 2 pound. Or if you paid like $100, you're looking at what, 10 pounds, 11 pounds of transformer for $100. 11 pounds of transformer. That's a big ass fucking transformer. So yeah, those are the things I'm looking at, and I think if we can get a 5 pound transformer or a 5 pound figure for like $40, it's like, oh, that's a good deal. I'll fucking pay fucking $40 for 5 pounds of fucking plastic crack, right? Am I right? Instead of whatever but Ruben, the thing or something. See, it's not good because then we can't pay the president of the toy company millions of dollars, and then something. Yeah, but I don't care about the president of the toy company. I care about people who like the fucking figure and want a fucking big ass fucking something, and don't want to pay crazy amount of prices. That's what I care about. So that's what I'm thinking. Let me know in the details on the comments down there. I'll approve. Everything will be approved. Or you don't need approval. So just write in there, Ruben, your ideas are not gonna help the president of the toy company. That's a bad thing. Like, that's how you type. You use a pinky. Beep 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 beep. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and please let me know what you guys think. Probably next week I'll probably send off to China to get the printer, and then make it. Maybe make some videos on me making the printer, and then doing all the stuff and the models and stuff. Another thing I heard, some of the stuff that I see being printed is kind of the same stuff over and over and over and over. And I don't know if the guys doing the printing actually like to design stuff. I know some of them do. They like to take the model from the video game and then take that file and then print it out and fix it up, and they have the figure of the video game. But for me, I like actually doing the CAD stuff. So I want to do the CAD stuff. and I will show you some of the a long time ago. And SSJ, I've showed some of figures, some of my models to him long ass time ago when I wanted to make my own Transformer stuff. And yeah, I think that was in 2009 or something, 2008, maybe 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. But yeah, I had an idea. I was like, I'll use Blender to make the figures, and they'll just have them run around and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I never finished that. But yeah, it's something to think about, and I want to get into that, and hopefully I'll get that done soon. Um, yeah, like I said, we're in November, so I need to get on that. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and what you guys want me to print out once I get the stuff going. And I was thinking maybe I can do like streaming of some kind of, hey, let's make a Transformer together, and then we can all get together on the YouTube live stream and say, okay, let's give the Transformer something, and let's give it something, and then we can all do that, and let's stick our fingers in our ass. One in the urethra, right there. Point the pink. If your pee-pee is very big, you can stick your pinky in your pee-pee hole. One in the butt, like a 6-pack, just like that. Yeah, those are my ideas. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, and I should probably make a video on how to make the chili robot. It's turquoise. Alright guys, talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.